Hello, I'm Jamila Musayeva, an international etiquette consultant, author of etiquette books and pre-recorded online etiquette courses. In today's video, we're going to talk about 7 everyday habits of an elegantly lived life. Probably the topic of elegance is one of the most popular one on my channel. Also in my classes, I get so many questions about how can I live a more elegant life. I don't have a lot of means to spend in order to live more elegantly, and my answer to elegance is always it's so much more than just what you surround yourself in terms of the value of the items. It's so much about your mindset, so much about how you treat yourself and your surroundings. And these things, these habits are not expensive, they're very affordable, and those are the things that you can start doing today in order to live a more elegant lifestyle. But before we begin with today's video, I want to thank the paid partner for today's video is BetterHelp, which is an online platform that has gathered the credentialed therapists from all around the world. All you have to do is go to BetterHelp, fill out the questionnaire, you get matched with a therapist, and if the therapist that you've been matched with doesn't work for you, for whatever reason, you can easily request for a different therapist and you can switch until you find the right therapist for you. That was such a groundbreaking part of BetterHelp for me, because it really takes time for me to find the right teacher or therapist for me, and so BetterHelp has really enabled me to find my therapist from the comfort of my own home. I don't really have to go anywhere, and given how much I travel, I can easily access my therapist from anywhere in the world as long as I have good Wi-Fi connection. What I also find very useful in BetterHelp is that they have a journal inside where you can write out your thoughts, or you can also join group sessions with other people that might be going through the same thing as you do, and you can get emotional support from people that have gone through the same experience that you have or are currently going through the same one. Whether you're going through something challenging or you simply want to feel more grounded and confident, talking to someone can truly help. Visit betterhelp.com/Jamila, which you can also find in the description box below, to get 10% off your first month of therapy. Now let's talk about 7 everyday habits that we can easily incorporate in our daily lives in order to live a more upscale and elegant lifestyle. The very first habit that you can incorporate in order to live a more elegant, a more sophisticated life is by allowing yourself a moment in stillness the first thing you wake up. This is something that I find so important as a mother of 2 kids that are aged 10 and 7. They're still young enough to need my attention and that I have to cater to their needs. And so before they wake up, I set my alarm clock about 40 to 30 minutes before they wake up, so I can have those 30-40 minutes to myself where I wake up, I wash my face, brush my teeth, change my outfit. Sometimes I stay in PJs, depends on how I feel. And then I go downstairs, brew myself a cup of coffee, and I have that coffee in this moment of stillness. I sometimes put on a very relaxing music or verses from Quran that I like to listen to. And in the morning, I just have this moment of stillness where I'm sipping on my coffee and I'm truly intentional. I'm truly relaxed and calm before they wake up and the day starts. Because in those moments of 30-20 minutes to myself, I feel like I have allowed myself to be still, to be present. It immediately puts me in a different mindset than if I were to start my day rushing off when the alarm clock goes off and I have to rush into doing something immediately. I have done both things, and I can tell you there's a huge difference in the way you start your day, and with starting your day on the right foot or in the right manner can set the tone for the rest of your day. The second elegant habit that you can incorporate that is not expensive at all, super affordable, we can all do it given that we have the desire to do so, and that is dressing up even at home. I said before that sometimes I wake up earlier and I change into a proper outfit, other times I'm in my PJs. I can even have my first few online classes, I'm taking Arabic classes online, I can sometimes have it in my PJs. Those are the days where I allow myself to really indulge into this laziness. But most of the days, I understand if I have to work from home, if I have interviews and Zoom calls and work meetings from my home, then my home becomes my office. And I have to change into proper outfit in order to have this right mindset. I find that the most elegant women I've ever met in my life in person are the ones that always dress up even at home. I think that's the one huge habit that sets apart women that are elegant and those that are not, because it takes a lot of effort, a lot of energy, and a lot of desire to be intentional with your lifestyle when you make yourself change in the comfort of your own home. Wear something that is not PJ and loungy, that is proper, that makes you look put together. It doesn't have to be something super expensive. It doesn't have to be something that you wear outdoors, but it just has to match, be clean, be well fitted, and look like you have put an effort. The third habit for elegantly lived life is definitely curating your words or curating your speech, making sure that you speak softly and you speak intentionally, and that you use enough of pauses when needed in order to stress the words that you want for people to pay attention to, or the message that you're trying to convey. I find oftentimes that people that blabber, people that say too much, that do not put enough pauses and don't have enough silence in their speech, tend to be overlooked or tend to not be understood in the right way because of the amount of words that came out of their mouth. Very few people really pay attention to what they said. So if you want to exude this air of elegance, this air of commanding your presence and your words and your vocabulary, you really have to make use of a lot of pauses in your speech. It's very difficult to pause. It's very difficult to be okay with silence. But silence is almost like an exclamation point in your speech. Before you utter something very important, take a break. Give yourself a pause. Silence, and then say. Because when you do so, whatever comes after the silence is like a storm, and people pay attention to it. Being intentional not just with your wardrobe or with people that you spend your time with, but also very intentional with your words, is definitely one of the biggest habits of people that I've come across that I personally consider to be very elegant. The fourth habit of elegant people is maintaining a clean surrounding, maintaining a clean space around them. There's so much awakening or so much awareness, so much clarity that comes from clean space around us that we might overlook when we are busy with our everyday life. And sometimes we feel mentally anxious or mentally stressed without understanding that a lot of it is related to our exterior environment and what we are surrounding ourselves with. We live in a world where we shop so much, we get so many things that we don't even need, and then we get cluttered with so much stuff that there is not enough of space for us to exist. So I have incorporated this into my daily life, and I do that with my kids as well. Whenever we buy something, we get rid of everything that was not used or not loved or not enjoyed for quite some time. We give it away to someone who can put it into better use because we've welcomed something new. Decluttering and maintaining a very clean environment allows you to also mentally and emotionally cleanse and really have this feeling of elevated lifestyle. And that's at least what it does for me. Anytime I feel like, I don't feel sophisticated enough anymore, I feel like I'm swamped with a lot of things, I make sure that I spend the day decluttering and cleaning my room, my wardrobe, my makeup, anything, my kids' room. By decluttering the whole house, I feel like I'm liberating myself, and I feel like there is more space now for things that bring me joy. There's more space for things that elevate my lifestyle. So curating not just your words, but also your environment is very important for an elegantly lived life. The fifth everyday habit that you can incorporate in order to live a more elegant life is by adding refinement into your daily routine activities. Buying objects or using beautiful objects in your daily habitual rituals, like drinking a cup of coffee or tea, or taking a bath, or whatever it might be that you're doing on a daily basis. You can add beautiful objects to that. So instead of, say, drinking your coffee from a plastic cup or from a big bottle of carry-on coffee that you have, you buy yourself a beautiful mug, you buy yourself a beautiful coffee cup, you put your coffee into a beautiful tray, you add a cloth napkin, you add a little bit of cookies and a beautiful little plate, you might add some flowers into a smaller vase and put it on a tray. So the daily habits that you have, like drinking coffee, can be turned into a beautiful ritual that you have done with really not that much of money invested, but by just taking some time into adding these small little touches of refinement that will make you feel immediately more elegant. It doesn't have to, cost a lot of money, as long as it brings you that feeling of sophistication and elegance. You can do it with, things that you already have at home. Declutter all the things that you don't love and only leave the ones that you do, and make use of those things that do bring you joy. The 6th everyday habit that you can add to your life in order to feel more elegant is adding a signature scent. It could be your signature scent. I personally love the idea of signature scent. I've been using the same perfume for about maybe 16 years now, 15, I don't remember, but ever since I've been in college, and I have been using it, and I love the idea that I'm associated with a scent that I've used for so many years. And even when people that didn't see me for 10 or more years, when they see me again, they can recognize me by the scent, or they say, oh, you smell the same way as you did in college. I love the idea of having a signature scent. But if you're someone who doesn't feel comfortable doing that, though, I do urge to find your signature scent and to stick to it so that people can really have these memories of your scent with you. But if you don't, then adding a signature scent to your home or your room or something about you can really elevate your lifestyle. I love associating a scent with a memory, and so when a home smells in a particular way and brings certain memories, it really adds more elegance to the whole experience. Find something that you can stick to. Find a scent that's not too overpowering that you'll get sick of it after some time. I have incorporated the idea of signature scent, but it's seasonal in my home. So in winter it will have one sort of candle, in summer I'll have another one. So every season I have a different scent, and I love the idea that my home smells a certain way as I do. And the last, but perhaps one of the most important habits of elegant people, both men and women, is the way you take care of your hair and your nails. If there are 2 things I would think make the most impression when you meet someone is their hair fresh? Is it clean? And the second, are their nails clean? Are their hands well taken care of? I think those are the 2 things we pay most attention to, because the hair frames our head and our face, and the nails really speak volume about our general hygiene. So it doesn't have to cost a lot of money. Washing your hair, you can do it at home. Taking care of your nails, you can do it at home. As long as they are trimmed, they are cuticle free, they are moisturized, you have good hygiene. That is the most important thing. I think nothing is worse than a chipped nail polish or a gel nail polish that has outgrown, and you actually have to refresh it every 2 to 3 weeks. If you can't afford doing that, then better wear no gel polish at all, or just use regular nail polish and reapply it every whatever amount of days you need as soon as your nails grow. So taking care of your hygiene overall is very important, but particularly pay attention to your hands and your hair. Thank you so much for watching this video until the very end. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you do, give it a thumbs up so I know what kind of video you like to watch on my channel. I actually have an entire playlist dedicated to living elegantly or elegant lifestyle. You can check it out. I have a lot of videos done in a similar topic. And if you want to learn more about etiquette, you can join my 2 pre-recorded online etiquette courses that are available on my website. They're pre-recorded, which means you can watch them at any pace leisurely from the comfort of your own home. And you can also get my etiquette books that are available on my website for international shipment. And if you want to learn more in depth about etiquette, you can join my Patreon Etiquette Movie Club, where every month I do an etiquette review of different kind of movies. So far I've done over 40 different movie analysis, from the most classical ones like Breakfast at Tiffany's, Roman Holidays, some of the Hollywood's most popular ones like Devil Wears Prada. And by joining the etiquette movie club right now, you can actually have access to all those movie reviews. Thank you so much for watching this video until the very end. I hope to see you in my next one. Bye!